up in the mountains, my friends, where you can still watch an eagle soar on the wind. And I walk those hills with a smile on my face, and I can't get back to God's saving grace in the mountains.
Welcome back to our Hill to Die On podcast. I am your host, Chase Dowling, and this is what's going on for the week of June 17th through June 23rd, 2026. I hope everybody had a great last week. I know I did. Been busier than a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. A couple of you out there know what I'm talking about. Old Peg Leg himself, guaranteed. Let's go. You know you watch the podcast. Come on. Anyway, this week, folks, going to do things a little different. I'm not going to run down the whole calendar like I normally do. I'm going to post the calendar to the website or to the Facebook page, to whatever. I'm going to post, and it's going to be, maybe I'll put it right here. Yeah, right there. That's where I'll put it. I'll put the calendar there. And then we'll just let me see. Here we go. I'll just move over here like this. There. Now I have room for the calendar. See that? Room for the calendar. It's there. Okay? Now, anyway, but we are going to do the thing that we always do, and that is the Banana Belt weather report. Now, granted, scenery might change. Just saying. All right, folks. I told you things were going to change up a little bit, didn't I? Now, Hannah sends us another good one here. She says, we are looking at an overall really pleasant week up here in Forest Hill. This is the perfect week to get outside and touch some grass. Get them little toes in there. Today brings us a classic Sierra Foothill summer day. It'll be warm and sunny with a high of 87. 87. Hot. It's hot. Okay. Anyway, Thursday cools off a bit into the low 80s with plenty of sunshine and crisp mornings in the 50s. This would be a great couple of days to enjoy a slow morning with a cup of hot coffee while watering your garden. Amen to that. A much-needed cool-down arrives for the weekend. On Friday, highs dip into the mid-70s, making it the coolest day of our week. If you're heading up country this weekend for some Father's Day camping, make sure you bring a jacket because it will be chillier in the higher elevations. This is true. Been going to French Meadows every day, and it is quite a bit chillier. I walk out of the house with a t-shirt, no problem here during the day or during the morning. By the time I get up there, I need to put on my jacket before I climb any equipment. Anyway, Saturday stays pleasant with a high of 78, and Sunday warms back into the 80s. This is a great weekend to celebrate Dad with a fishing trip on the lake or a backyard barbecue. Don't forget about that. See, it's Father's Day. All you dad dicks out there, you know what I'm talking about. Red is Rudolph's nose. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyway, Monday brings sunny skies in mid-80s, and by Tuesday, Forest Hill is back into the upper 80s with warm evenings and plenty of sunshine. Also, I heard that there's going to be some lightning possible upcountry this weekend. We will see. Nothing too extreme, but you will notice that familiar late June warmth returning. And the allergy outlook, tree pollen season is finally winding down now that spring is coming to a close. And you've probably noticed less yellow dust coatings on everything that you own. Yes, I have. Thank you, Hannah. Grass pollen remains medium to high this week. And if you or your family are sensitive, expect symptoms like sneezing, itchy eyes, congestion, to be most noticeable during the morning hours and on breezy afternoons. God, such a good weather report. I just wish she would do it herself. Just send me the video, because, I can read it, but I am no Banana Belt. And that's this week's Banana Belt weather report. Well, folks, hope you enjoyed that weather report. As always, Hannah Banana just does a fantastic job. Fantastic job. And, just want to go over some things real quick on the calendar this week. Whoa, big fly. Big fly. Flies are out, folks. Watch out for those flies. A little warm. Don't forget about your LSM food distribution. They do have a early check-in at noon for the distribution. If you got to go, I think you got to go and sign up for that, but you can get that done, and you can also do a personal shopper there now. That's pretty cool. Mountain Club still got their thing going on. Forest Hill Site Council, American Legion has a dinner meeting on Wednesday, and then let's go. Where else are we going here? On the count. The Foothill Farmers Market. Forest Hill tried to do a farmers market this last weekend. Jenny Vigorino ran out of time, couldn't do it. But I think she's going to try to do another one here pretty soon. So if she needs help, which I'm sure she does, especially if she wasn't able to pull this one off this last weekend, folks, reach out to her. Tell her you're ready to give her a helping hand to make these things happen, because this is what we need. We need these farmers markets in Forest Hill. Everybody's got a garden going right now. Yours truly, of course. Yes. Nothing's producing yet, though. It's still early. Anyway, so just saying that, and I'm going to do our birthday shout-outs like this week. So we have Bob Palmieri, Dottie Pearson, Brash, and Allie Olmstead all have birthdays on the 18th, on Thursday. Danny Harris has a birthday on the 17th. That's Wednesday. And, Kim Nicholas, you have a birthday on the 9th. Kim, your birthday's on the 19th? You go, Kim. And Jenna Schilling, Red Dirt Ranch, got a birthday on the 20th. And then another big birthday shout out for a personal good friend of mine, best friend of mine, also a brother to me, Mr. Dave Sims has a birthday on the 23rd coming up. That's on Tuesday. Happy birthday, Big Dave. Uncle Dave, as the kids like to call him. Yes, that's right. Big Dave, as everybody else likes to call him, or Tall Dave, Lanky Dave, Dangerous Dave, all that stuff. So, big birthday shout out to all of you. Happy birthday from all of us to you. We wish it was our birthday so we could party too. And what happens when you party, folks? You know what happens. Yeah, that's right. You get drunk in the woods. But that's only because, shit happens. But anyways, without further ado, there's this week's Outdoor Report. All right, folks, getting into our outdoor report this week, or as Hannah likes to call it, the seasonal shit. That's right. So, the first official day of summer is on Sunday. This is the summer solstice. It's the longest day and shortest night of the year, meaning Forest Hill will enjoy nearly 15 hours of daylight. You know what else they enjoy? Because we're goddamn, Christian society here. Well, at least we're not pagans, chopping off babies' heads and stuff like that and rolling them down the stairs, trying to, sacrifice the sun god. I'm just saying. Anyway, sunrise is at 5:06 a.m. and sunset will be at 8:34 p.m. The skies won't be fully dark until probably closer to 9:30. And after Sunday, the days begin to gradually get slower. After Sunday, we gradually start dipping towards winter. Can you believe that? Even though the hottest part of summer is still ahead. Sunday is your day to stay out a little later, maybe while sharing a cold one with Dad, and enjoy some golden evening light under the pines. Big reminder, if you're looking to camp up at French Meadows this weekend, that all campsites at the campgrounds are first come, first serve. Father's Day weekend is a popular weekend for camping, so get there as early as you can on Friday morning, or maybe even Thursday evening if possible. Nader, talking to you. Of course, Nader will do it. Henry's have a leave early gene. If you're camping trips on Thursday, they'll be gone Wednesday morning. It's just the way it is. Actually, if you're camping trips on Saturday, they'll say, okay, we'll leave early on Friday. That means you're leaving early on Thursday. And, well, hell, if you're going to leave early on Thursday, you might as well leave early on Wednesday. Just saying. Okay? Also, if you're looking or listening for signs that summer is arriving in the foothills, rattlesnake season is officially underway. As temperatures climb, rattlesnakes are becoming more active throughout the divide and lower elevation trail systems. Snakes are emerging from winter brumation as we speak. Snakes. Yeah, this thing got Eve to eat the fruit of knowledge in the Garden of Eden and got us all banned. Serpents. Just saying. Right now, they're seeking sunny spots to warm up and are more active during mornings and evenings. The species you're most likely to encounter around Forest Hill is the northern Pacific rattlesnake. You want to pay extra attention around south-facing rocky slopes, trail edges with tall grass, rock piles, and around wood piles. Wood piles, sheds, and brushy areas near homes. That's kind of a run-on sentence there, Hannah. Just saying. Many people imagine rattlesnakes are deep in the wilderness, but they're often found surprisingly close to homes, trailheads because that's where rodents are. This is very true. And they can also be found with lead through their head if they get close to my house. You know what also really works really good is you get bird shot for a 22. Actually, in some of them, they call it snake shot. So you can buy it, wherever you can get 22 shot, or if you have like a little 38 pistol or a 9 millimeter, you can get these. They're just like it's a little shotgun round for your pistola, okay? And bam, shoot him right in the head. Works perfect. The good news is rattlesnakes generally want to avoid people. Most bites happen when someone accidentally steps on a snake, a person tries to move or handle it, or a dog investigates too closely. Veterinarians often see an increase in snake bite cases during late spring and early summer. Dogs are particularly often vulnerable because they explore with their noses and investigate brush. Keeping dogs on the trail and on the leash can reduce risks of bites. You should remember that not every rattlesnake gives a warning. Sometimes they rattle loudly, but sometimes they stay perfectly still and silent, relying on camouflage instead. If you see a rattlesnake, stop right where you are, give it plenty of space, back away slowly, and let the snake move off on its own. Or, throw some rocks and sticks at it. They'll move away faster. Most snakes will leave if they're given an escape route. The foothills belong to all kinds of wildlife, and rattlesnakes are just one part of the ecosystem. This summer, keep your eyes on the trail, your dogs close, and remember, the snake you see is usually the safest one because you've already spotted it. That's very true, because if you're walking on a trail, how many snakes do you pass by that you don't even notice? They don't even do a thing. So, and if you mess with them, yeah, they're gonna bite you. That's what snakes do. What's that old story? A snake was burning up in a brush fire, and the snake yells out to the guy, "Hey, come help me, I'm burning up in a brush fire." And the guy runs over there and he pulls the snake from the fire, and the snake bites him. The guy goes, "What the hell, I just helped you." And he goes, "What do you expect? I'm a snake." Just saying. It's part of their nature. So, if you don't want to get bit, don't flip it. Just saying. Anyways, that's this week's Outdoor Report. So, folks, Hannah always keeps us nice and dialed with a good outdoor happening. She sends it to me in these little texts, and I get them, and it's some, just seasonal shit is usually how she portrays it. Yeah, so it is what it is. I'm just saying. Anyways, gonna get right into this week's Thoughts for the Shitter. All right, folks. Common theme that you can probably always tell us, since this is our hill to die on, and the reason why we call it that is because, we'll die on this hill, or we could if we wanted to. This is our hill to battle from if we needed to. And some say it might be indefensible, but I think they're wrong, especially if we got away from our modern day way of living, and that is consumerism. Now, I'm not saying we all have to go and get rid of our PG&E and get rid of our cars and our oil and all that stuff, go back to horse and buggy. I'm not saying that. Technology has provided some great things, but technology has also moved us away from our ancestral way of living that has made us less self-reliant and less free. And I try to preach this usually in one Thoughts for the Shitter, but it usually has something to do with this type of train of thought every week. But consumerism has eaten up the way we do things, and it's made us slaves. That's right, slaves. And what do I mean by that? We are slaves to our bosses because we have to go to work every day, because we have to buy the things that are keeping us alive. We have to buy our food. We no longer have gardens or cows in the backyard or food stuffed away in our larder. No, we have to buy gas to get to our job. We have to buy insurance because we eat crappy food that we don't grow. So, there's things like that. But in Forest Hill, we are so lucky because we have the land and the climate to do everything to keep us alive. And we also, here's the other thing, we have to go to work so we can provide, or so we can, pay for the mechanic to fix our own cars. We don't know how to do anything by ourselves anymore. And if you don't know how to do anything, that means you're relying on somebody. And when you're reliant on somebody, you are, one step away from being a slave. And that's just the way it goes. So, what do we do, folks? Simple. Do one simple thing. Grow one tomato plant this year. Just do one. Maybe next year you do two. Grow something. Or do something that makes you more self-reliant. Learn how to change the oil on your car. Unless you got a Tesla, then I don't know what you do about that. Well, learn how to put in solar on your house. Do something that will make you self-reliant. Because consumerism is not the way of it. It's the way, we have all these commercials on TV. And every single commercial, you could live without every single one of those things are on those commercials. You could totally live without it. Because they're always trying to tell you that you're just one purchase away from happiness. And let me tell you, folks, you are not one purchase away from happiness. Unless you were to buy, a 1,000-acre ranch and, I don't know. I'm just saying, it could happen. If you had a 1,000-acre ranch or 1,000 acres just to, with a cabin right in the middle and a big old pond, and it was all paid for, and you never had to pay taxes on it, because taxes, let's face it, are just rent to the government. Anyways, I'm just saying, the less we purchase and worry about, the way our clothes look, what shoes we're wearing, all that type of stuff. Anyway, I'm just saying, the less we have to worry about that, the more we can rely on ourselves, the freer we can be. And, liberty isn't free, folks. Just saying. That's just something to ponder while you're dropping them off down yonder. So again, folks, we're doing things a little different this week. We're going to jump right into this week's Sasquatch. Now, I'm doing Sasquatch this week a little different because I'm kind of opening up a series of stories, and I'm going back through the history of some Bigfoot stories that I've heard about, and just going to lay out kind of the story of them. So until somebody can actually get me. Now, I know there's been a couple nominations, but you know what? A couple of those nominations I'm saving for, special occasions, special episodes, like when we get our 50th subscriber. We're up to 44 now. Or are we 45? I think it's 44. Anyways, I'm just saying, got to save one for the 4th of July. So there's a couple coming. Just saying. All right? Don't get your panties in a bunch if you're like, I nominated so-and-so. Matter of fact, I only got 2 nominations that I'm sitting on. So if you guys, we need more nominations. But until we get those, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Bigfoot lore. So, this one happened in July of 1924. Okay, so there were some gold prospectors were working up on a remote claim near Mount St. Helens. The area was rugged and wilderness with very few people around. And back then, Mount St. Helens was a beautiful. I mean, it still is. It's still a really pretty area, but not as beautiful. There was some big old growth timber there. I mean, it was very rural, very beautiful. And again, folks, remember, you got to remember, this is 1924. So this is before movie cameras and all that other stuff, and before the lore of Bigfoot really came into the modern age. So the men reported hearing strange noises and finding unusual tracks before the incident. One miner claimed he saw a large hairy creature on a ridge above their camp. He estimated it stood around 7 feet tall. He fired his rifle in the direction, and the creature disappeared into the timber. Now, and you got to remember, Mount St. Helens, 1924, big old growth timber. I mean, and it's Washington, folks. I mean, there's a lot of timber in that area, pretty dense woods. Then, several nights later, the miners reported being awakened by rocks striking their cabin. So, and this is another Bigfoot thing. A lot of people don't know this, but Bigfoot supposedly likes to throw rocks. So, I mean, maybe my neighbor, the old Double D, Dad Dick himself, I mean, yeah, he can throw rock. Maybe he's a Sasquatch. He's been a Sasquatch. What am I saying? Yeah, likes to throw rocks. So does the sling blade. And rock throwers. Definitely squatches. Anyway, heavy objects reportedly hit the walls, roof, and throughout the night. The men claim multiple creatures surrounded the cabin. They reported hearing screams, footsteps, and movement outside. Now, remember, folks, this is 1924 in a remote part of Mount St. Helens. The miners found in the morning, the miners found large footprints around the cabin. Fearing for their safety, they abandoned the claim and left them out. Now, the reason this one is so famous, it's because it's one of the earliest Bigfoot encounters in North American history. In kind of recorded recent history, I should say. I mean, Native Americans and trappers have been reporting on Bigfoot and Bigfoot sightings for millennia. But this was, in kind of modern times. This is a big thing, right? So, then that also happened in the area that is now called Ape Canyon, and that's kind of the reason why they call it that. And I guess it has a pretty good reputation for still being kind of a wicked place. And Bigfoot people still talk about this. So a lot of people say the story may have been exaggerated a bit. People being up alone in the woods. But see, I don't buy that. Because in 1924, men were still freaking men, and they could go out in the woods by themselves. I mean, heck, people are doing that today. I mean, partner, for God's sakes, he goes camping in the woods by himself all the time. He has his little stove, his little freaking backpack thing, and he goes that way out in the middle of the woods by himself all the time. People aren't. Look at that. I got a bonnie dog. Bonnie dog. That's a Sasquatch. Anyway, so I'm not buying that they were just freaked out. And this, I'm telling you, this place was totally remote at the time. 1924, very, very remote. Why would somebody be wanting to play a hoax on these prospectors unless they were trying to drive them out of their claim, unless the claim was rich? I mean, there could be some of that, maybe. So, now, whether it was a group of guys trying to mess with another group of guys, no one will know. But it did kind of start, that was kind of the first modern Bigfoot lore in modern times. So, it's kind of neat stuff to look at. So, if you don't know, now you know. Anyway, folks, hope everybody had a good week. Hope everybody had a good weekend. And as far as the Robert Francis joke of the week, this week, I'm just going to say something that Robert Francis would probably say, and that is, don't be a bitch. Get out there, get your feet wet, get your hands dirty, get out into your garden. Don't be a freaking consumerist and buying everything that make you happy. Get outside, put your toes in the grass, as Hannah Banana would say, and just enjoy your damn life. See you on the next one.